Hey everyone, it's me, Athena, your residential Money Smart Latina, coming to you live from Money Smart Latina Studios. Today I'm going to be discussing a topic that I don't think anybody really wants to have, but I feel especially as Latinas with our love for family and our love for life and our love for our parents, we don't really want to talk about what's going to happen to them when they're older. And this is a very important topic that I think all children who have older parents need to have with them. You have to talk to your parents about what's going to happen when they get older. And I'm going to tell you why. But I'm going to be real with you for just a quick second. So back in February, a few months ago, my father, he's 53 years old. He's still very young, very vibrant, runs around, does all these different things. He had a stroke. And it was really scary. He had a set of mini strokes. And at the time, we weren't entirely sure what kind of stroke he had, what was going on. I live in Arizona. Up north is very rural. The medical systems up there are very limited. So they felt it would be in my dad's best interest to go ahead and transport him to Phoenix because I live here and because I thought it would be the best option for my dad in receiving his medical care. And I actually know somebody who is a HR director of a hospital here in Phoenix. So I felt like my dad would be in better hands down here than he would be where he lives up north. He came down here and he was here for a few days and then they released him. The first night he was here was probably the scariest night. He had a stroke right in front of me. It was terrifying, but my mom did die in front of me when I was 15. And when my dad had a stroke in front of me, I was like, oh my God, my dad's gonna die in front of me too. And you never want your parents to die alone and you always want to be able to say goodbye to your parents. But 53 years old, I felt like it wasn't my dad's time to go, and it's not. He's doing very well now, but it was really scary. They explained why he had a stroke to get better, and he did go home. Questions that I felt were very important for me to know from him and from my situation. I thought it would be a great idea to share those with you guys because, again, I think these are conversations we all need to have with our parents. Before I jump into the questions that I want to share with you today, I just want to say something that I feel like women in general need to hear, but especially Latinas, because we are caretakers by nature. I just wanted to remind you that at the end of the day, you're not obligated to take care of anyone except yourself and any of your direct dependents, such as your children. That uncomfortable subject being said, these are the questions that I think you need to ask your parents sooner than later. So first of all, the question that we probably have already an answer for, or it's probably already happening, where are you going to live? I grew up in a multi-generational household. I had my grandparents there, I had my parents, I had my cousins, I had my aunt and uncle, because they weren't very good with money and they kind of bounced around a lot. But needless to say, like at one time in my life, there was like 10 people living in our house. I'm used to having that multi-generational household, and even though my dad says it's not going to happen and it might not happen, in my head, my dad is going to eventually come to live with me. And I don't know what that really looks like, but I know that, he knows that's an option, and I know that might be a reality for me. But it may be different for you. Where are they going to live? Are they going to live with you when they're older? Are they going to live by themselves? Are they going to still keep their apartment? Maybe they own a home and they still want to maintain it and they still want to keep it. What is their plan, first of all, where they're going to live? The next question you have to ask is something that our parents might not have dealt with, but it's something that we might have to. Are your parents directly supporting anyone else that you need to worry or know about? As people live longer than ever before, it is not uncommon to now have up to 4 generations living under one household. Yeah, right? It's crazy to think about. So maybe you are not only going to be taking care of your parent, but maybe you're going to be taking care of your grandparents, or maybe they're going to have a sibling that they're taking care of, or maybe they're going to have somebody else that they're reliable for. I had a friend who, I think it was their cousin or their friend's father-in-law, passed away, and their stepmom had nowhere to go, and they were taking care of their father-in-law, so they actually took on their stepmom. And so that is a very real possibility. And those are real things that are happening now that probably didn't happen 20, 30 years ago. That's something that we have to think about, because while you may be financially prepared to support one other person, such as your parent, you might not be able to financially, or you might not want to financially support other people. And to the follow-up question to that is, what is going to happen to other people they are supporting if they are no longer able to do so? You need to ask your parents if they have a will. You need to ask your parents if they have a DNR, want to be buried, if they want to be cremated. You need to ask them what their final arrangements are going to be. You know to respect them, and so you're not left in the dark in case something bad happens to them. The last question you should ask your parents is, who is in charge of their estate, the executor of their will, or in charge of their affairs should they happen to pass? I know it's kind of hard, and that's something I had to ask my dad. I said, very point blank, that if he didn't want me to be in charge of stuff, that was fine, but that was just something he needed to communicate with me. I have control issues, and I always want to charge in and take control of situations, even if there are situations that I shouldn't be taking control over. I wanted to make sure with my dad that was okay, or if he had other plans or something, or he had other wishes that he wanted to be honored. And that was something that we had to discuss. It's not something that I was excited to do, but it was something that I needed to do, and it was something that we needed to discuss, so that way we could have a plan moving forward should his health continue to depreciate. Like I said, he's doing really well right now. He's off running around, probably fixing a car. He's my dad. In my eyes, he hasn't aged past 40, but he is 53 now. But I mean, he's still probably running around fixing a car today. Like I said, I probably need to call him and check on him and say hi to him. I talk to him a few times a week, even if it's just to tell him I love him. But I think that these are questions that you need to ask your parents no matter where they're at in their life, just so you know, because anything can happen. My mom passed away 2 days before her 39th birthday, and that wasn't something that any of us were planning or expecting. So it's really important to have these questions with your parent no matter what stage they are in life. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. I will go ahead and I will link to any individual resources that I think are helpful or that I have referenced in this video. You can go ahead and you can follow me at Money Smart Latina on any of my channels that are listed below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me today, and for that I will forever be grateful. Bye guys, have a blessed day.